Are we ready?
Live.
We're live. All right. Hey, we're back at the garage. Going to run through the sponsors real quick again. We got Hawk Wings out of Jackson, Minnesota. You need a wing on a car, they'll build her for you. Rapid Graphics out of Rock Rapids, Iowa. Get your cards, letters, signs made. Mount Tabor Cabinetry with Chris Fissel out in central Pennsylvania. Pretty sure he does new houses, remodels, whatever you want. Morning Sun Marketplace with Rick and Sue Fritz, also out in central Pennsylvania. You need something? I'm pretty sure you're going to find it somewhere from one of the vendors. I'll get her yet, bud. My Race Pass. Better get that vehicle. Year starts. This year, we're about done, so maybe get her next spring.
There you go.
S2F, start to finish, another streaming service with Power Eye, and I know they do Port City. Whoo, struggling tonight, bud. Damn, we're too early. Houston Speedway, obviously they're off season, but they're getting things fixed up for next year. Turn 2 Lodge down at Knoxville, literally like it says, there's a place to stay right outside of Turn 2. Kaiser Aluminum Wheels, be wiser, buy Kaiser. They got brake rotors, they got all sorts of stuff.
All kinds of stuff now.
All wheels for everything. Fulkins Brothers Trucking, for all they do for us. Actually, they actually do haul livestock and stuff, bud, so if you do need, pigs, cows moved, whatever, give them a call.
Call Trim.
Call Trim. We never mentioned that. We just talked about what they do for racing.
That's right.
Sorry about that, guys. Heartland Hardware and Appliance out of Brandon, South Dakota, George and Hayward in Iowa. Hero Haven for everything they do for the vets and the first responders. And, of course, like always, Lumber Lounge and Garage Bench Racing with Shane and Snow.
8 o'clock tonight,
and
right?
I think they're going at 8 o'clock tonight. So we should be done by then. So no conflicts tonight.
If you love racing, you should be able to just go watch a ton of stuff here. So
go from us to them.
All right, I'm going to start with the podcast. Here we go. Hey, we're back at Hoagie's Garage, and we're going to start the night out in PA with Rob Peters. Is that correct?
That's correct, buddy.
That's a name that's hard to screw up. If I screw that one up, then we got a problem.
Well, we got problems.
Well, I'm definitely not a household name back here, but we'll be okay.
Woo. Better turn that down.
Oh, geez, you got it on there, loud top?
I'm good.
All right.
I gotta have it loud, but I'm old. I can't hear nothing.
Yeah. So Rob, where are you actually from? How old of a guy are you?
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on the show. I am old. I'm 63 years old. I live in Annville, Pennsylvania, I'm about 6 miles from Hershey Park, if you know where Hershey Park is. That's where I'm at.
Hershey's makes candy bars. I know that.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
63. Your voice sounds like you're no older than 35. If I was going to guess a voice.
I just fell in love with you. You're my hero.
Doesn't he sound younger though?
He don't sound older than me. I can say that.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're off to a good start.
So, Rob, why don't you just fill everybody in on what you're doing right now so we kind of know who you are and stuff like that, and then we'll go back and kind of fill in the blanks.
Okay. Well, currently I am the crew chief and team manager for Brett Knabel, BK Motorsports, for Michael Walter, who's our driver. Excuse me. And we race at Port Royal weekly. And been with BK Motorsports here for the last 2 seasons. We won our first race, first 410 win here this year in April. And we run 4th in points last year and this year.
That's pretty solid.
And for anybody that listens to our show, we had the driver on a while back. He had the repo job.
The repo.
That was a great show. Go back and listen to it again, people.
Oh, yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah, you were just kind of telling us beforehand that he's had a few run-ins here in the last couple of weeks again.
Yeah, he had a guy, I think it was last week, he had a guy take a swing at him that was on parole. And, of course, he ended up going back to jail. His girlfriend was like, please don't tell the cops, but, he went back to jail. And then there was another guy, Michael picked up his pickup truck and with the wheel lift on the wrecker and picked it up by the rear wheels. And here the guy jumped in the driver's seat and took off with the thing up in the air. And there's video of it, and damaged the wrecker, and it's quite an interesting way to make a living, that's for sure. I always think of Mark Dobmeyer too. I wonder if he's got kind of stories, because he's like a bail bondsman or whatever. So,
yeah, we never talked shop when we had him on. I don't think just what he did, but
yeah. I bet he's got some stories.
Some of the stories that people tell him as to why they're calling him might be interesting, but he probably can't tell us them either legally.
Well, he doesn't have to tell us names.
That's true. Just stories.
Just stories. So
yeah.
So how long have you been involved in racing? I mean,
well, I'll kind of start from the beginning. So my dad.
By the way, Tove and I are just going to sit back and just enjoy listening to you now.
Okay, well, if I start rambling too much, just reel me in and tell me to move on. But anyway.
55 minutes, then we got a second podcast, so.
Okay, well, you have to get the hook out and drag me off then, so. But yeah, getting back to my childhood, my dad drove truck for a living. But my dad was one of those guys he was a jack of all trades. Like, he could do carpentry work, masonry work, electrical work, plumbing, worked on cars. Like, there was like nothing my dad couldn't do. And I'm not really sure how he got all those talents, because he was a truck driver. But, of course, I was by his side for all that stuff. And I mean, we did a lot of home renovations where I grew up. And, the one thing I really was taken by with all of that was the automotive side of things. I was really interested in that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what I was, paying attention to. And then when I was a little guy, so the World of Outlaws have a show when they come to Pennsylvania at the Hershey Stadium for Milton Hershey School. Are you guys aware of that? Are you familiar with that?
I've heard of the school, obviously.
Yeah, heard of the school. They sponsor, but I don't think I've heard of what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think they've done it for 2 years now. They have some of the Outlaw guys come out there to the Hershey Stadium with the race cars, and the fans come out. They make like an evening of it. But at the Hershey Stadium there, when I was a little boy, they had midgets that raced in the stadium there on the paved track, and that track is still there today.
Really?
So, yeah, which is really cool. And then I was a little guy, too. I mean, my dad took me a couple times to Williams Grove, and I became a fan of Steve Smith Sr.
Okay.
And I remember he was called the Black Bandit then, and he drove, I think at the time he drove the 66A, which was Harry Fletcher's car. And I was a fan of his, and actually where I grew up in my neighborhood, there was a guy down the street that had a Super Sportsman car. Now here in PA, the Super Sportsman cars are kind of a sprint car look-alike. They have carbureted 358 engines and stuff in them. They're a 30 by 90 car, so they're 90-inch wheelbase and 30 inches across the back of the roll cage. But our neighbor had these cars, and I used to hang out down there a lot. And my mom, if I had all my chores done on a Saturday, she would let me go to the races with these guys. So I'd get to ride in the back of the pickup truck going up the highway, which you'd get arrested for that shit nowadays.
Yep.
And there's no enclosed trailers back then. The race cars, everybody had open trailers, and it was just cool. And I'd be riding in the back of the pickup truck, and people would be pointing at the car and stuff when you're going down the highway, and I just thought I was Billy Badass, man, riding in the back of this pickup truck,
That's awesome.
So, yeah. So then, there was another neighbor, a friend of mine that I grew up with, Reese Myers, about 3 houses away from this R.W. Litz car I was telling you about originally. That neighbor got a Super Sportsman car. And Reese's dad, Dick Myers, drove that car. Now, his wife did not know about it.
Oh my God.
So every Saturday, me and Reese would purposely walk past his mom, wherever she was, living room, kitchen, what have you, with 3 fishing rods and a tackle box. And we were going fishing Saturday night with Dick. And we didn't go fishing at all. We were at the racetrack, and Dick was racing. So he got away with that for about 3/4 of the year, and then he got in a crash one night and damn near ripped his big toe off. So then the cat was out of the bag. So me and Reese didn't get to witness the marital moment that probably happened there. But anyway, getting back to the original guy who I used to go hang out with down there. A couple years later, Mark Smith, you know who Mark Smith is. He races sprint cars and builds Mach 1 chassis. Are you familiar with Mark?
Yep, heard the name.
His dad, Ree Smith, was the mechanic on this RW Lit Sportsman, the first one I was telling you about.
Okay.
So I used to go hang out down there. So in this shop, I'm not even sure what color the walls were in this shop because it was completely covered, floor to ceiling, everywhere you would look, with Playboy centerfold posters.
Oh, my God.
A young.
I'm not really sure. I'm not sure what I studied more, was the posters or the race car, but I think maybe the posters. So, and they had like a life size one on the back of the door when you'd walk out the shop. Like, it was awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
So.
awesome.
And here we thought this was going to be about racing, and you weren't even doing anything with racing.
I'm telling you,
You're
it was,
either fishing or looking at Playboys.
that's right. That's right. Yeah. And you know, even back then, like those cars, we had plywood wings on those cars back in the day.
Oh,
Like, you know, everybody's used to aluminum. Those were plywood wings on those cars then. So then, and they still run flat tappet camshafts in those motors in those cars. So I remember one Saturday, I went up there to ride to the racetrack with them guys, and they replaced the camshaft in this thing. Well, a flat tappet camshaft, you have to fire the engine up and run it at a high idle, usually for like 20 or 30 minutes to break the cam in. Well, they had to leave for the racetrack, so they actually loaded the car up on the trailer and fired the car up and put it on a high idle as we went down the road.
Oh, my God.
So, like, all the people in the cars were really pointing at this thing going down the road, all the noise we were making, which I thought was cool as shit. Like, I thought that was so cool, you know.
So I got to go back a little bit. How heavy was a wing when you made it out of plywood? Do you have any idea?
Well, I was a kid, man. I don't know. I just remember they were plywood, and I just always, yeah.
That's crazy.
Just thought, yeah. So, yeah. So, I did that and rode with them guys and hung out down there for years. And Mark Smith's dad taught me some stuff, and he was kind of sometimes he could be a little grumpy, and sometimes he'd run me out of there. But most of the time, he was nice to me and showed me stuff, and I kind of learned. But I was hooked. I was definitely hooked for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of how it started for me when Steve was racing, when Fulkins was racing in town here, and I'd go along with my brother down to the shop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I didn't get to do nothing because I was too young, but you hung out, and it was just fun to watch.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
yeah.
What did you do after that? Did you start driving your own, or what'd you do?
Well, so I don't want to bore you with all the earlier stories, but like my dad, going back to my dad, like my dad would let me drive his car and stuff. Like he'd sit when I was a little kid, like he'd sit me on his lap and I'd steer. And he had a Ford pickup with a 3 on the tree, which younger folks are not going to know what a 3 on the tree is. You guys would know. Yep. Yeah. So he kind of taught me how to drive and the 3 on the tree deal. And he actually taught me how to drive tractor trailer when I was 13.
Yep, been there, done that.
So a neighbor down the street had a car for sale, a 68 Dodge Dart, and it had a knock in the motor. So I took my paper route money at the time. I was 14. I bought this Dodge Dart, and it would start up and run, but it knocked like hell. And my dad actually let me drive it from all the way down around the neighborhood back to our house. And we ended up tearing that thing apart and pulled the motor out and rebuilt this motor and stuff. And then I really kind of like got very interested in the motor end of things. Like that really fascinated me. So I kind of got into that a little bit. Started building motors for people and stuff. Like when I was in high school.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And kind of got into that. And then I did when I was a senior in high school, I did like a co-op thing where I'd go to school till noon, and then I worked in this auto mechanic shop from noon to like 5:30, and kind of got my start with all that there. And but then after that, like I got one of these Super Sportsman cars. That was going to be the start of my racing, and I took a loan out for this thing and scratched and scrimped, and like my parents didn't have money to help me with a race car. If I was going to do it, I was going to have to do it all on my own. So took me a couple years to get this thing together. And in the meantime, when I mentioned Steve Smith Sr. earlier, I would go to the Grove and stuff. Once I got my driver's license, man, I was at the races all the time. And he kind of mentored me a little bit, and he would tell me all the time, he was like, don't build a piece of junk, whatever you do, don't build a piece of junk. Build a good car so you don't have any bad habits, blah, blah, blah. So, here I am, it took me a couple of years to piece this thing together. And so I get everything ready. And I go to the races all the time, and everybody's like, where's your race car? Where's your race car? And I'm like, it's at home. It's at home. It's almost done. So I get this thing done, guys. And the only thing that's keeping me from going now is I needed a fire suit and a helmet. So my buddy who raced Super Sportsman, Tim Leapart, he was a known racer here in the Super Sportsman division. He comes up to me and he's like, where's your car? I'm like, I need a fire suit and helmet yet. I'm just like, I'm tapped out. He's like, I'll give you one of my old suits. He said, you got to come up with a helmet, which I didn't want somebody's used helmet anyway. It's kind of gross. So anyway, this is how close I am to debuting my racing career, because I never drove anything before. So Saturday morning comes, and I decided today's the day. And I went to Tobias Speed Equipment. I had $150 in my checking account. I went to Tobias Speed Equipment and bought a Bell XFM1 helmet. That's what I wanted. It was $309. Don't ask me how I know, but that's how much that was that long ago, but that's what it was. And I wrote them a bad check for this helmet so I could go racing Saturday night. That check was no good. Now, back then, it took a couple days for a check to go through a bank. It wasn't quick like today. So anyway, $309. I get this helmet. I'm off to the races. So I actually qualified for the feature my first night out in that car. And I made enough at the end of the night to cover the check. So the check went through. It worked out. It worked out.
Oh,
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh.
So then, kind of after that, I started my own auto repair business and couldn't do the racing thing. I was putting all my efforts into that, so I ended up selling my Sportsman and got the auto repair business going and stuff. And then in 1991, I met Lenny Krautheim. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Lenny Krautheim.
Oh, that one ain't ringing a bell.
So he ran 410s at the Grove and Sealands Grove and stuff. So I met him and we kind of hit it off, and he needed some setup help and stuff. So he asked me to help out. Well, this is where I met Michael Walter's dad, Hurricane.
Okay.
Mike Walter. Okay. And he was wild. Like, I told Lenny many times, this guy is never going to live to see 30. He was just out of control, crazy guy.
I have to ask, is that why he has the name Hurricane?
Yes. But, and he's still with us. I think he's 54 now. But, so anyway, we all met in 1991. We raced Williams Grove and Sealands Grove. We went to the Kings Royal that year. And, pitted next to Doug Wolfgang, and that was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
And we didn't do real well. My driver was giving us setup input for Friday night, and we didn't do real good. And I was just like, Saturday morning, I'm like, just stay up in the hotel in the air conditioning. I'll take care of it from here. And we won the heat race by like a straightaway. Like we were checked out in the heat race. I think we started 4th in the feature, and I think on the second lap we crashed and totaled this car. So, but and then that same year we went to Syracuse, up to the mile at Syracuse, which was pretty cool. So like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with rear gears and whatnot, but at Syracuse, you actually ran a 411 gear up there. So both of the gears in the quick change rear were the same size. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But we were running 5th that day up there, and everybody was kind of spread out and settled in, and we were going to end up finishing 5th. And here the clamp on the magneto came loose. Spun the magneto, and we dropped out. And then we had a backup car that didn't have all the aerodynamic tricky stuff on it. The World of Outlaws always had a race at Rolling Wheels after Syracuse. So we went over there and we run 5th with the Outlaws. So that was kind of cool. Yeah. And then in 1992, we got a deal with the Challenger Chassis Company to have their house car. Still with Lenny Krautheim and Hurricane and everybody. And we had a really good year that year. We had won some features that year. We won the Selinsgrove Track Championship that year, won the Tuscarora 50 that year. And we had a really good year that year. And then the owner, he quit at the end of the year. So that was the end of that. So then I kind of started getting back into the motor building thing again. I did some Super Sportsman motors for some guys and some 358 sprint car motors that we run here in PA. Did some of them. A 410 or 2 I did. I built a 358 motor for Frankie Herr, who still races around here. He won the Williams Grove Track Championship that year and the Cars Tour Championship as well that year. So yeah. And then after that, I was bound and determined to build my own sprint car and get into that. So it took me, kind of like the Sportsman thing, it took me quite a while, scratching and clawing and spending money, and took me a while to get this thing together. And then I made my debut with that in 1997. And I ran Williams Grove mainly with that in the 358 division.
Okay.
And I crashed really bad one night there at Beer Hill. I went out of the ballpark there outside of Beer Hill and hurt my back a little bit, and I totaled that car. So that was the end of that for me for the rest of the year.
Did the Beer Hill gang at least come down and offer you a beer or anything else?
I wish they would have. That would have been nice. Yeah, that would have been nice.
Oh.
So in 1998, have you guys heard of Sean Keane? His son races right now, Kyle.
Okay.
He dabbles in the 410 stuff, which actually Mark Smith is going to be driving their car next year at Port Royal.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's awesome.
So Sean Keane was running 410s at the time, and he wanted to go to Knoxville. And I was kind of chassis shopping, and I offered to help drive his rig to Knoxville. And I got out there, and Blake Robertson, who has BR Motorsports in California, I was a customer of his, and he was there at Knoxville in his own car, a brand new car. I went down to see him and say hello, and I'm checking out this car, and it wasn't powder coated. The frame wasn't powder coated, and I'm looking at this thing, and it's frickin' beautiful. Like, I was just like amazed at the workmanship on this thing. It was a Brian Schnee car.
Oh, yep.
And I said, Blake, I said, this car is badass, man. He said, do you want to meet him? I said, sure. So Brian was there, and I met Brian. He was there in a Pearl Jam t-shirt. Like, he didn't look like a chassis builder to me. I don't know what I was expecting. But anyway, like, we really hit it off, like, really well. Like, I don't know if you guys believe in, like, I don't know. Maybe we could have been brothers or something in a past life or something. I don't know how to explain it, but like I don't know. We had a connection. We just did, like, right away. I don't know how to explain. But anyway, I ended up getting a car from him, and that's what I ended up finishing my career with, was one of his cars.
Okay.
And yeah.
See, he
So
was right
then,
Brian's right up here, originally from right here by us with Sioux Falls.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Our-
when I was actually getting cars from him originally, when he had the big shop up there.
Yeah.
He was building them out of the big shop up there for
Our
me.
claim to fame, we
Yeah.
went to his wedding.
Yeah. What a guy.
He drove Steve's car once or twice, and we got to know him pretty good, and we ended up getting invited to the damn wedding.
Nice.
So
Nice.
that's our
Then
claim to
in two-
fame with Brian.
So 2001, I met my wife at the racetrack, Lori. Her brother, who's in a Schnee car, by the way, he raced 358s too. And I thought for the longest time they were husband and wife. I didn't know they were brother and sister. So she used to come to the track in her yellow Corvette with her blonde hair blowing out the T-tops and shit, and I'd be sitting in the parking lot going, damn,
That lucky
like,
devil.
that's my kind of girl there, man, you know. And I like yellow anyway. So then I ended up finding out by accident they were brother and sister. So, man,
Oh,
the
game
chase
on
was
now.
on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the chase was on. And listen, how could she say no to a race car driver? Come on now. Come on now. So,
Well, she sure knew all the problems a race car driver would have if she'd been hanging around her brother.
yeah. So we got married in 2003, and she's still here. She still likes me, so that's good.
That's always
That's
a plus.
Yeah. So I raced my sprint car till the end of 2003, and we decided to build a new home. It was a better investment, so I ended up selling pretty much all of my equipment to Ryan Bolke. Ryan Bolke's stepdad. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Ryan Bolke. He was from New Jersey, and he raced for a while. They hired me to build them 3 brand new cars in my new shop at our new home, and all Brian Schnee cars. You're going to get a pattern here. They were all Schnee cars, and he raced for like 2 years, and he did well. And then I took a little bit of a break, and in 2007, you're familiar with Lucas Wolf.
Yep.
His dad, Randy, who was a badass racer in his time. You should check out sometime Randy Wolf's crash from Syracuse back in the day.
Ooh,
His arms are sticking out. His arms are sticking out of the side of the car. There was no arm restraints back then. Like, it's vicious. Like, if you could see, I don't know, a couple years back, I got to see a bunch of, like, the photographer must have had like a speed lens or whatever, and I got to see a lot of that crash in all these different pictures. It was vicious crash at Syracuse. But anyway.
I wrote it down so we would remember.
Yeah, Randy comes up to me at Williams Grove one night, and he says to me, he goes, hey, there was a girl, Nicole Bauer, who was kind of messing around with 358s at the time. He was like, those guys are looking for a crew chief and stuff and somebody to take their program over. You should go talk to them, which I did. We put a deal together, and I ordered more Schnee cars for Nicole. I had like 4 of them. So, and her dad was like, listen, he was like, I want the best you can possibly buy. I want the very best of everything. Can you build me that? I'm like, absolutely. So, so we did that, and she won 2 features in her 358, one at Port Royal, one at Williams Grove. We won a lot of heat races and stuff like that, and then her dad wanted to get a 410, and for a little bit we raced both of them. We raced 358s and 410s, and it actually made her more aggressive in the 358. We were at Lincoln one night, and she was being all aggressive in the heat race. Like, first lap of the heat race, went to the outside, passed some guys, and crashed. Now, Lincoln down there has concrete walls.
Yeah.
So she plugged that thing in the concrete wall really hard, like rung her bell, like it was a pretty bad crash. And that definitely had an effect on her, you know. So, but so then we kind of stopped doing the 358 thing, concentrated on the 410s, and put this 410 together. We went testing one night at BAP Speedway here in PA, and we did really well. She took to it well, and we went to Port Royal that following weekend, and she went out there for hot laps, and she was flat footing this thing all the way around Port Royal. I'm like, holy shit. Like, damn, we're going to be okay.
Damn, girl.
So, yeah. And, so yeah, we did well with that. We, again, had a bunch of fast times at time trial shows, and she was rookie of the year at Williams Grove, and we're actually on the front row of the dash of the National Open next to Steve Kinzer with her car. You wanted to talk about, I was like a nervous Nelly in the pits trying to keep my composure with all that stuff.
Yeah.
But that was pretty damn cool. And so then we parted ways July of 2012. But her parents, Gary and Gina Bauer, like they were awesome car owners, like great people. It was a great family. Gary was awesome. Like he was one of the best car owners I've ever really worked for. He took good care of me. But anyway, so probably August of 2012, Dick and Leslie Leach, I don't know if you know them. They were longtime car owners here in PA, and Doug Esch drove their car. And I really never met Doug. Like I knew of Doug, and we raced with each other a little bit in the 358s and stuff like that. And they were in need of a crew chief, so got with them, and I walked into the Williams Grove with brand new torsion bars and shocks of my choice, and put this thing together. And we were like fast right out of the gate. Like me and Doug, kind of almost like the connection I was telling you about with Brian Schnee.
Sure.
Like we just freaking hit it off. Like I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. It just happens sometimes, you know?
Yep.
And we were super fast. And at the end of the year, Dick and Leslie were going to retire. And we were running super good. And we won the Tuscarora 50 that year. 20 years later from when I won it with Lenny Krautheim in 1992.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah. So anyway, I'm rambling on here.
We're doing great.
We're doing great. Loving it.
Okay.
For those
So
that
then,
maybe just tuned in, we got Rob Peters on with us. He is currently a crew chief out in Pennsylvania. So
For Mike Walters.
Mike Walters, yep.
Continue
on from there.
So at the end of 2013, I was really good friends with Greg Hodnett. And we spent a lot of time together. Sherry and my wife Lori are pretty tight. And he approached me at the end of 2013 to be his crew chief, which would have been probably on the Mike Hefner car, actually. John Trone was going to take a break from racing. And we had 2 sit-downs, very lengthy sit-downs about this. And I was very, very honored that he actually even asked me to be his crew chief. And, but man, it was such a hard decision, but I ended up turning it down. I just didn't want it to affect our friendship, which I just felt these things never last forever.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I didn't want to affect the friendship between Sherry and my wife and stuff, but boy, that would have been a great opportunity for me.
Oh, yeah.
So in 2014, there was a car owner here that ran Port Royal pretty regular, Gary Heckman. It was a red number 8. Keith Kaufman actually drove this car for a while, back with Doug Esch in Gary Heckman's car. So we won the Tommy Hinnerschitz race at Williams Grove by like 7 seconds. We were super fast that night. Won our heat race, like going away as well. And it didn't last real long there. I ended up quitting that deal, leading the points at the Grove. That kind of sucked. So then after that, I got with Brock Zierfoss. Brock Zierfoss was getting started. So, and they don't live too far from me. And my wife and Brock's mom, they grew up together as well. They know each other a long time. So got to helping Brock, ordered more Schnee cars. So we had a terrible year that year. Brock was getting started, and Brock was a little out over his skis. We crashed like 6 cars by June.
Oof.
Yeah, one night at Port Royal, we went there with a brand new car. Every nut and bolt, this thing was brand new. We're in hot laps, and Brock ended up. There was a guy in front of him that kind of checked up going into turn one unexpectedly, and Brock ran up over his right rear. And I'm telling you, there was nothing left in his car.
Oh.
We didn't even have a half a lap on this thing.
Oh my God.
So I kept calling Brian. I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. I need another car. I need another car. And he fixed me up every time. But boy, Brock's poor dad was about broke.
That's gotta be downright depressing though, to junk one out
Oh,
with a half a lap.
Yeah, yeah. And for the record, they call Brock the Jonestown Jet.
Yeah.
I'm the one that named him the Jonestown Jet.
Oh, did ya?
For the record, yes, for the record.
There you go.
So anyway,
What's the story
So
behind
I helped-
that, or ain't there one?
well, he was from Jonestown, and I don't know, it just kind of sounded cool to me, and I was
Okay.
just like, hey, you're the Jonestown Jet. So yeah, that was me. So I helped them for like 2 years, and then took a little break, and then in 2017, I got with Mark Coldren. It's a 07 car, back with Doug Esch again. We mainly raced at Port Royal. I think we won 3 features, that year. We set a 1-lap track record in time trials that year. It actually stood for a while. And we won the Port Royal Track Championship that year.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, and then in 2008, his son was starting to run 410s for a local car owner, Brian Ehrenzeller. It was a 33 car. So I helped him for 2018. And then in 2019, Nicole Bauer calls me. She wants to give it another go. So we reunited, and we ran okay. I made her, like I talked to you guys earlier, I made her lose a bunch of weight. I'm like, listen, I'm about light race cars. You gotta lose some weight. And she did. She was a trooper. She lost a bunch of weight. And then she decided to retire in 2020, at the end of 2020. Then that's when I got together with Michael Walter and his dad, Hurricane, in their family car. It was a 33W. And so, quick story there. I wasn't working on anything at the moment, and I'm sitting up in the pit bleachers, and I know Mike. I knew Mike forever. We knew each other from back, remember I told you back in the Lenny Kraudheim days in 91. And anyway, I'm sitting in pit bleachers, and they're struggling really bad. And he comes up to me, he goes, watch my kid. I'm like, okay, all right, I'll watch your kid. And honestly, they would come to the racetrack most nights and crash and stuff. So I was just like, how long is it going to be till Michael crashes? But anyway, so I watched the kid in the heat race, and he's fucking I'm sorry, I didn't want to curse. He's buzzing the tires off this thing. So I walk down there, and I say to Michael, I'm like, dude, like, this isn't a Top Fuel dragster. Like, you can't be spinning your tires like that. I'm not spinning my tires. He's arguing with me already, So,
What the hell is this guy telling me
anyway,
what I'm doing?
so his dad goes, do whatever you want to do, Hurricane. I'm like, okay, so I'm changing everything but the kitchen sink on this thing. And Michael comes up to his dad. He goes, who the hell is this guy? Like, what is this guy doing? He's like, you just never mind your business. He said, just let him go. So he started 22nd that night and drove up to like 11th. And they have a GoPro on their car. And he comes in after the feature and he's yelling, Dad, hire that guy. Pay him what he wants.
That's gotta make you feel good though.
Yeah. So yeah, we kind of did the family car there for a couple years. And then, like I said, now we do run the family car a little bit here and there. Sealands Grove and some stuff. We run it selectively, but our main focus is the BK Motorsports car I was telling you about earlier.
Yep.
At Port Royal. So, but my right-hand man on Michael Walter's car is his brother, Cody Peters, which is no relation to me. But I love Cody. Cody's awesome. Like, Cody is super dedicated. Like, there's not too many Codys around. And I pretty much took him under my wing and kind of showed him the right way to do things and all that stuff. And he's a major part of our program there. So, and I always fear that some road guy is going to scoop him up and get him away from me. But now he has a child and stuff like that. So I think I'm a little bit safe. I don't think he's going to run away from home, but he's super good. He's just very, very attention to detail, which that's how I am. Like, I'm pretty anal about my stuff. So I kind of got him that way as well now. And, yeah, he's just a great helper. Great helper.
You bet. That's
yeah.
It sounds to me like you have basically covered every aspect there is to racing, between building motors, crew chiefing, racing.
Yeah.
You know, call yourself a car owner because you had your own ride.
Mm-hmm.
I've
never built chassis. I never did that, but boy, it seemed like kind of like my dad. I was a little bit of a jack of all trades with the racing stuff anyway, you know, but, yeah, been fun.
Where was your most favorite place to go race?
Eldora. We were at Eldora actually with the 33W Mike's car at the Speed Week race this year at Eldora. And I love that place, man. Like, I remember old Eldora. I don't know if you boys were ever at the old Eldora.
No.
When it was really banked. Like, you went to the old Eldora and it was super intense. I remember I went there back in the day with Kraudheim, and then I was there with a couple other teams, and I actually even went out there a few times just to watch. But old Eldora was super intense. Like, you didn't even lift out there. It was just unbelievable. And you know, now you can win a race from the bottom at Eldora.
Yeah. Where
back in the day, that wasn't happening. They would have laughed you out of the place. Like, you would have never even qualified doing shit like that back in the day. And but as far as the most intense racing I ever seen was old Eldora back in the day. I was there the night Kenny Jacobs was there in Bob Weichert's car. Every nut and bolt on this car was brand new. It was had a brand new Gertie motor in it. It was a Ken Jenkins was building cars. What did he call those things? Anyway, it was a brand new Ken Jenkins car. And I watched Kenny go around there in hot laps, and he didn't even move his arms. Like, that car went around there on a string. It was awesome. And I said to Kenny when he came in, I'm like, dude, that car is badass. He's like, it sure is. So anyway, they go out there in the heat race, and Ricky Hood. Do you guys know Ricky Hood?
I've heard the name. Yep.
So Ricky Hood was out there in the heat race. They went into 1 and 2, and Ricky Hood's left sideboard of his wing collapsed, and he slid out, and Kenny was on the outside of him and caught Kenny. And I'm telling you, it seemed like Kenny was 100 feet in the air and left the place and destroyed that brand new car. And he ended up coming back to the track the following night, but his eyes were all bloodshot and black and blue. Like, it was a vicious, vicious crash. I remember that. So, yeah, Eldora was really intense back in the day.
I'll have to ask you about that one if I get to PA again this year.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I looked you up at the Bob Weichert Memorial, and I stopped by the Fulkins motorhome, and they're like, oh, he's in there hanging out with Reitzel. I'm like, okay. So I didn't get a chance to come back and say hello.
Well, but, hopefully Steve takes me along again this year. So. Yeah.
Well, we'll have to look you up.
Yeah.
This year when you come back in.
Well,
yeah.
Get numbers exchanged. You can just call me, and then we can make sure we meet.
Well, my camper, I was just kind of catty corner. I have a permanent site there with my camper, so I'm real close to where you guys were.
You're just behind the building there or whatever.
I got slushies down at my camper, so you guys might be interested in something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so you're down there camping by Kenny, and so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Look at you acting like you know where you're talking about.
I know, because I had to bring Kenny ketchup because he didn't have ketchup for his eggs. So we brought him ketchup as being smartasses. And of course, we were down there with Todd.
Yep.
And Lori.
Yep. Yeah, actually, I'm truly like catty corner. I can throw a stone and hit Todd's camper where I'm at.
I probably saw your camper then, just didn't know who it was or anything.
You didn't know? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because is Mike close to that too? Because I think Mike Walters, I think he told us he was.
He's right behind me.
Yeah.
He's right behind me. Yep.
So.
Yep.
Well,
yeah.
We can have a lot of fun in PA this time, but you should just quit school.
Yeah.
Retire early.
Hey, I have one more year maybe. So.
I would just pull the plug. Just do it.
I gotta at least get the full retirement package. I put in this many years, I'm gonna get the full thing. So
I hear you. Father time never slows down, unfortunately.
That's
No,
so
it goes by quickly.
I can't believe I'm freaking 63, guys. I can't even believe it. Like, I don't know where it all went. I don't know how I got here so quickly. Yeah.
I made her to 59 now, so.
yeah,
I don't know if you guys feel this way, but the older I get, it just seems like time is twice as fast.
It's terrible, ain't it?
I don't know why it feels that way. So I don't know if you guys feel that way too, but man.
No, it seems to be going faster every year.
I don't know where the season went. Like, we're here. We raced at Bridgeport Saturday night. It was our last race for the year, but like, I don't know where the year went.
Yeah.
And we're done.
Yeah,
so
I don't even like birthdays anymore. Told you had his yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah.
So.
We made her one more revolution around the world here. So.
That's right. That's a good thing.
Well, I think we'll hit you up with some rapid fire questions here, and then if there's anything else you want to close with,
Who knows where
can.
these will go for stories?
Yeah, that's why I figured we better get to them. So, what's your favorite kind of ice cream?
All of them.
All
of them. Oh boy. Who was it? Wade Unger.
The next one.
The next one. That was his favorite flavor. Was the next one. So he wasn't fussy either.
Wade's awesome.
Oh, he is, isn't he? I love it when he comes back to the States. I follow his stuff over there too. But
so just another, if I can bore you with another story. So for years I'm friends with Charlie Garrett, and I've been trying to get somebody to interview Charlie Garrett because he's probably going to soon retire.
Yep.
And I was after Wade for a couple years he would be the perfect guy to interview Charlie, and I finally got it done this year. He got down to Charlie's, spent a couple hours with Charlie, and did an awesome interview. And I actually got to meet Wade at Williams Grove that night. It was an outlaw race and rained out, so we had a couple brewskis, and it was good. He's a great guy.
Wade's a lot of fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
You bet.
Cat or a dog person? Is that where we're at, bud?
Both.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any hobbies other than racing?
I'm a music lover. I love music, and another common thing that me and Brian Schnee have is he's a drummer, and I try to be a drummer. So
there you go.
I mess around with that a little bit, and so now we have a grandson. Me and my wife Lori. He's going to turn 3 in December, so he he's something else. I cherish the time we get to spend with him, little Theo.
I got a 4-year-old, so
it's awesome.
It's entertaining.
Grandkids are awesome, man. Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
Soup them up, send them home.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes.
How about a favorite movie?
Ted.
Ted.
Unlike a talking
That's
bear.
easy.
Yep.
That's easy.
Do you prefer snow or rain?
Well, I drive truck for a living. I have for 32 years now, so rain.
Yep. I totally agree with you there.
Yeah.
This one could be good. You're into music, so if you were going to be stranded on an island, what type of music would you have to have along to listen to?
Well, here's the deal, and I've told my wife this because I'm a huge Van Halen fan. They're like my favorite band. And I've said to my wife many times, I'm like, listen, if I'm ever in a coma and the doctors call you into the room and they're like contemplating on whether to pull the plug on me or not, and you're trying to decide, put some headphones on me and play Van Halen. And if nothing happens on the monitor,
pull the plug.
Pull the plug. Pull her. Because you anchor out of the wall, man. I'm done. Like I'm ready to go.
That's awesome.
Yes. Van Halen.
Yep.
Rick Gallimore. Yes, bud. Quit. come to PA.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, this was awesome. This was a lot of fun, guys.
Snow's been watching too. He's getting a little entertainment from us before he starts his own show. So
Is it me?
Yeah.
I think that's you.
You have a favorite place to go out to eat?
I'll tell you where me and my wife love to go to Moose's LZ,
Oh,
Brock's dad's place. That's right out the road from our house. It's 5 miles from here, so we frequent that place a lot. And any steakhouse. I'm a steak guy. I like steak, so. But Moose's is right up there. Yeah.
I didn't have any problem last year at the Weichert Memorial. We went to that church for the breakfast that morning on Saturday morning or something.
Yes.
Maybe ate more than I should have, but it was good.
Always happen. Listen, man, yeah, for sure.
I love breakfast food.
Oh yeah. If you look at me, you'll be able to tell I like all food any time of the day. So yeah, I got to work on that a little bit.
How about a favorite holiday?
Well, this year it's going to be Christmas with my little grandson.
Yep,
That's going to be
absolutely.
fun. That's going to be fun. I can't wait for Christmas.
He'll
Yeah.
be tearing packages open.
Yeah, he's kind of getting the concept of opening packages. Last year he didn't quite get it and he needed help, but he's got the concept down now, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
It's just right around the corner. I think my granddaughter's been, when we're watching TV or something, oh, Papa, Christmas, I like this. And if we wrote everything down, I'm pretty sure we'd have about 4 pages of things right now for her.
So here's another story for you. So when he was born, I got a finger shaking lecture from my wife and my daughter-in-law, and they're like, "This child will not race. Don't even think about it. Don't even try." I'm like, okay. Like they were putting the fear of God in me. So my wife orders little Theo a bouncer. Well, what do you think the bouncer was? It was a freaking race car. It was a red race car. And then she got him a fancier bouncer, another race car. And now we're talking about getting him a juice box for Christmas. So like none of this stuff was my idea, guys.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to be good over here, but she's about got me to the point where I'm going to be all in. So like I'm trying to be good.
As well start buying him some T-shirts.
That's right. That's right.
Shoot, I got what is she now, 10 months old? I should get in trouble for that 11. They got onesies. I mean, we buy them all the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. My wife actually, my wife does the T-shirt trailer for Michael Walter.
Oh, okay.
And she makes a lot of that kind of stuff up too. Like she's kind of got some stuff that the other people don't have. And just like what you're saying, stuff for dogs, and she's got all kind of stuff in that T-shirt trailer. So yeah, she likes doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. How many speeding tickets do you have?
Not many, because I make my living with my driver's license. Yep. So my first speeding ticket I ever got when I was 16 years old. My sister lived in New Jersey. We went down there. My parents and I went to New Jersey, actually in the Dodge Dart. We rebuilt the engine. Yeah, we drove that to New Jersey, and a frickin' New Jersey cop popped me. Now I was with mom and dad, so that was okay. But yeah, he got me for my first speeding ticket. But no, I don't have many. I definitely don't have as many as Lance DeWeese.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, Lance DeWeese has got a shit pile of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So
I got to behave.
In the same line with that, what's the fastest you've ever driven going down the highway, or say ridden with somebody else going down the highway?
So a buddy of mine back in the day, I built him a motor for his '69 Camaro, and I had it out one day, and I had it probably 125, I'm going to say. The speedos went to 120, and it was a little past that. And it's like, this ain't even my car. Like, that's enough. You know what I mean? So, and yeah. So, yeah, that guy's '69 Camaro. Yeah.
What's your favorite drink or go-to beverage?
For beer, I'm a Mick Ultra kind of guy. I don't like all that weird beer and all that
all the brewery
IPA
beers.
stuff. Yeah, I'm not into all that. I just want regular beer. And I like a vodka and cranberry as well. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Don't put it past my wife. She might drink one of your Mick Ultras if we come out there again.
I always have them on hand. So
that's her beer.
And we have our slushies, which are Sunny Delight, and whipped cream vodka. It tastes like a creamsicle.
I have to wonder if she was riding around with Brenda on the golf cart, not this year, but the year before, and they were drinking slushies. And I don't know if maybe Brenda was stopping getting them from you. I have no idea, but they were drinking.
She
slushies.
was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
they were ours.
You were getting
yes.
my wife drunk 2 years ago already, and I didn't even know you.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Those were
Hey,
ours.
We're catching
yeah.
on now.
Sometimes my wife gets confused with the amount of vodka that goes in, and sometimes you get results from our slushies if you have enough of them. So
now my wife just commented, "Who is the guest tonight?" I said, "But we did. She come in late, but we did mention it in the middle. But it's Rob Peters, honey. He's from PA, so you figured that out by now. If you were riding around drinking his slushies with Brenda, so
that's right. Yep. Yep.
okay,
Absolutely.
Let's see, last one, right?
Yep.
If you had all the money in the world, didn't know what to do with it, just say won the Powerball or the Mega Millions or something. Is there a car or a pickup or motorhome, a new truck? What's something you'd buy?
Well, I just ordered a new pickup truck that I'm patiently waiting for. It's on a ship right now. I'm waiting for it to get here. So I'm really excited about that. But did you guys ever see the movie Hollywood Nights? Did you guys ever see that movie back in the day?
Maybe.
Like Tony Danza was in it and Michelle Pfeiffer was in it. It was like a cruising kind of movie with
a newer American Graffiti type thing.
Kinda.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I'm getting at is in that movie they unveiled this 40 Willies in this movie, and it was like, oh man, like that was the car. So I would want a 40s Willys Pro Street car, yellow, like my wife's Corvette that I used to ogle over, and
with the flowing blonde hair out the two tops.
Yes, yes, and with a blown big block Chevy in it. Yeah, that would be my.
Sounds like you'd get another speeding ticket with that one.
Yeah, so that's what I would do, something like that. Yeah.
The wife says thank you for the slushies.
Oh yeah, no problem. Yeah. Next time she comes out, we'll hook her up.
There we go.
So, yeah.
Well, Rob, this has been an absolute blast for us. So we really appreciate your time. We really appreciate all the stories, and we wish you the best going forward.
I appreciate it, fellas. I had a blast.
All right.
You take care.
All right. You betcha.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.